First Class Podcast.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is another episode of First Class Podcast. I'm your host, E. Carter, and I'm here with my guy.
That got 937 in the building. What up, world?
What's happening? How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing all right. All things considered, man, I'm doing all right, brother. How about yourself, man?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. One day at a time, man. One day at a time. If you're new to the show, we always try to make it a conversation, man. So if you're watching, you got any comments, suggestions, concerns, or if you just want to speak your piece on the show, don't hesitate. We always try to say your comments. You know what I mean? So make you a part of the show, make you part of the family, the squad, the crew, the first class crew. We're gonna fly high. You got anything new before we jump in?
I've been actually getting some time to watch some football. So with that being said, from the wise words of Russell Wilson, let's ride.
Jesus Christ. Jesus. Help.
Let's ride. Let them cook.
Well, speaking of football, that sounds like we need to hurry up so we can get to these games because I've been watching football all day. And let me cut this off. That's cool. So other than that, man, I'm as far as football, since that's what you brought up, fantasy, I'm a little rocky. See, I started off with fantasy, thought I was going.
Oh man, I'm waiting on it.
My fantasy, in one league, I'm 0-2, and I almost had a comeback of the year already. But either way, it's okay. It all came down to a Pittsburgh game, which is fucking whatever. So I'm 0-2. You know, we're going to get back on the train on that this week. My other one, I'm 1-1. We're going to keep that winning streak rolling. My Baltimore Ravens are 2-0, and we got the Colts this week. So, you know, I'm riding high. Ready for that Ohio State game. Hence the red. But
yeah,
Ohio State play Notre Dame tonight. It's their first big test, big game or whatever.
So,
IO. So we're going to keep that rocking and see what happened with that. No, that's not it.
No, that's exactly it.
No, I'm talking about this. Sorry.
No, that's exactly it.
But yeah, man. So like I said, if you are new to the show, we always try to start off with some type of quote, words of encouragement, words of wisdom, something to take with you, something to hold on to. This one was pretty much simple, man. Learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for tomorrow. I'm going to say that one more time. Learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for tomorrow. It kind of goes in line with what we're talking about today, but it's just the proof is in the pudding, man. What happened the day before, what happened in the past, you're supposed to learn from your past and live in your present and then hope for your future. So it's just a kind of different way to put that. So take that with you. Anything that you carrying old baggage from and can't get past, take time to just learn from it and live in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Live in your present and hope for your future. And you know what I mean? Because, of course, it's in the future. That's what you're working towards, what you're working for. So hope for tomorrow. Take that with you. Attach it to your day-to-day life. Attach it to your day. Pass it on to your kids, your siblings, friends, and family. You never know. But with that being said, man, we're going to kick this off. I always try to do some type of random question that I don't tell nobody about just so I can get an authentic response. And I don't know how this came up, man. I was just kind of tripping one day.
The answer's 5.
Okay. And that's pretty lame. Hence the question. 'Cause
Answer's 5.
The question is, what's your lamest pickup line that you ever used? So you said that the answer is 5. All right, that's pretty lame. So you just walked up to a chick and was like, "Hey, 5."
You know what? With that being said, I think I'm gonna actually try that out. I'm gonna just walk up to a lady and just be like, man, I'm gonna just lean over and be like, the answer's 5.
Right.
Just to see, and I know kind of sort of how it's gonna play. I'm gonna say that she's gonna look over like, what's you? Like, what is you? Then she gonna see I'm not ugly, so then she gonna be like, what you talking about? Like, hey.
No, but like real talk, like I was seeing, I think it was a TikTok where a dude was he said he was gonna try saying like certain pickup lines from like a show to like his female friends or whatever and see if it worked. And it's funny because all the stuff that we grew up watching, these younger generation can use, because a lot of them is not tapped in. Like a lot of they're not growing up with the Fresh Prince and some of the old songs and stuff like that we grew up with. So I'm like, man, what's some of the lamest pickup lines? Because everybody didn't use some lame stuff, especially dudes. We didn't use some lame stuff before. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't use some lame stuff before. 1, knowing it was lame. 2, just because I thought it was funny. And to me, funny is funny. Now, it might not be funny to you, but if it's funny to me, I don't care. So one of the lamest stuff that I done did before, real talk, it's just give my number out. Like, out the gate. No. Like,
That's pretty all forward, dude.
No, but listen, though. I don't even know your name. I don't know you. I didn't even introduce myself. I didn't say, hey, my name is Eric or my name is E. 937. Something. You know what I'm saying? Just out the gate, like, huh? Like, is she? And no lie at all. At all the time. Like, I was determined for it to work. I used it for a while because everybody was like, bro, that's stupid, bro. That's never going to work. And I'm like, bro, I promise you, it's going to work.
It's so crazy. It just might work. Yeah. Right.
And it worked one time. Like, of course, me and the girl never talked or nothing like that. But she did accept the number. I'm like, hey, 937. She said, okay, hold on.
Oh, here.
It was crazy. And then I've also, like, back in the day, like the whole creeping on the phone. Or you better not be on that phone. The dumb days. Man, I used to use lyrics from R&B songs.
Yeah. Okay. Which ones did you use? Hold on. Before I forget, you ever use the heaven thing? Are you made out of heaven?
No.
Okay. All right.
I didn't use
that was something that was real. I'm like, bro,
I
know people right now here.
I didn't use the Fresh Prince line. I know your feet must be tired.
You've been running through my mind all day.
I mean, is that?
Yeah.
Now, mind you, none of them ever worked. Because the generation that we go in, they seeing the same stuff I'm seeing. So it's nothing new. You know what I'm saying? I used it with Ryan Isley. Girl, put it on me. I used to do that. What was that? Keep it on the down low.
Keep it on the down low.
All right, let him sing it. But anyway, yeah, good. Let him sing. But yeah, that's the song though. But nah, I used to use that all the time. Like, I got a boyfriend. Hey, he don't have to know.
Nobody. No, I'm just playing though. Yeah, that's a classic one. Though. I like that though.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. If it was funny and I thought it was smooth, I've almost tried almost everything.
So do you think, would you say rather that pickup lines only work if the woman finds you attractive? Because you can say the corniest thing in the world. And like I said, just like I'm saying the answer's 5, they look up and they like, I'm listening.
No, but honestly, I wouldn't say they only work if they find you attractive, because I didn't see, like, if it's clever and it's original, because you can be in a situation, like I've been in a situation where I wasn't a lady's type, but the communication and the conversation kept on rocking just because it was the back and forth, it was the banter. You know what I'm saying? That was cool. Like, oh, I say this. Oh, you think you funny? Da 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 da. Oh, well, I know I'm funny. Da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? It was the back and forth the back and forth, they were like, you know what, you're not usually my type, but I like how quick you are. I like how witty you are. I like how we kept this conversation going out of nowhere. Like usually, I probably would have already shut you down and been on my way.
And what you said though actually makes sense. As I'm thinking of the song "Digging" by TLC, and in the chorus of the song, she say, corny lines don't usually work, but today, the monkey lines was now in season.
Yeah.
Now,
now, if they find you attractive, that does work. I mean, that works a little bit better than for you because you could say the corniest stuff, straight cornball. But if she look up and finding you automatically attractive, then it's like, oh, that was lame, but whatever. Talk to me some more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
but I do like what you said with the wittiness, like, because some of them do want that challenge, like, boy, you corny, and then you come back with a line like, I don't know what you would say to that, but if you came back with something witty, they might actually spare some more time. Like, oh, hey, I like that. Okay, what else you got?
Right, because the thing is, the way you all know right now is that communication is the key. Not only for being in a relationship, but at least just starting it. Like, it's not always, oh, I want to be your boyfriend. I want to take you home. Let's get some fellatio started. It ain't always about that. Sometimes it's just
fellatio.
Sometimes it's usually just about having a communication and just meeting a friend. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have plenty of conversations with ladies at the bar to where it went nothing further than me introducing myself and getting to know you as a person. So the next time I bump into you, oh hey, what's up? How you doing? Oh, where you know her from? Oh man, I met her. You know what I'm saying? A while back at a such and such bar. She cool people. We play darts. You know what I mean? And that's it. That's all. Like a lot of people think that when you go to bars and clubs and in these public places that you always trying to pick somebody up. That's not always the case. Sometimes it's just you never know, man. Open up to just meeting new people. And I've always been that type of person to. I always like meeting new people. That's me. Like my mom and then my wife always said all the time, like, man, you can make a friend anywhere. And some people don't like it because they're like, look, I just try to come and be antisocial, get in, get out. I turn around and you over here kikiing with old Joe Blow over here like you didn't been childhood friends for years. Like, nah, I just met him 10 minutes ago. Cuz cool. We all going camping next week. Like, hold on, what? I don't even know this dude. He could be a serial killer. Nah, he cool.
That's the difference I'll say between like even having conversations with men and women. It's like I'm pretty sure me, like you, like the rest of the world is seeing this case to where like a woman drops her purse, then the dude tries to give it back. I got a man. I said I got a man, and the next thing you know, they sitting there running up a tab on your stuff for real. They got pizza, drinks. Like, all right, like, well,
could I try? But and I've seen a lot of women do just that, thinking like, oh, because y'all done made it a trend to where every dude that try to talk to you is thirsty, is reaching, is corny. And then I hear y'all get a little bit older, and then y'all be like, oh, it ain't no good man. Why ain't the man coming to talk to us? Because every time a man try to talk to you, you shut him down. Eventually, dudes don't like, you know what I'm saying? We don't handle rejection well either. But once you get it so many times, it's like, all right, why even try? Which we talked about on a previous episode when you was talking about marriage and stuff. Like, why are the younger generation of men so scared to get married? And that kind of falls into the same line. It's like, all right, a guy ain't gonna shoot his shot if he already expected to get turned down. And then you got females over there like, no, I just want a guy to shoot their shot. Like, come on, like you never know. I'm not that type of person. That's cool, but 10 years before when I shot my shot, I got shot down because I wasn't such and such height. I didn't dress like this. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? And all of that stuff happened. But now you're getting older in age. Now that clock ticking. Now you're seeing your friends getting married. Now you're seeing your cousins and your relatives getting married. And now you're looking at yourself like, man, it ain't no good men in the world. No, it's you. And I stand on that.
But hold on, the only thing I can and will say, which I do support, is for one, fellas, as you just seen from this conversation, that could be corny. Try to be original, and then sometimes you don't even need a pickup line. As long as you approach a woman with respect, like, hey, excuse me, this, that, and the third, like, hey, my name's James. Like, I'm just here vibing. I see you out here vibing as well. Or you got a second to talk? I done been in situations to where it's been like that. We've been sitting at a table. I'll go there with some homies, and we'll make a bet. Like, all right, bro, first person pull a number, drinks on them.
I stopped doing that.
Man, why? Because you was losing.
No, never. What are you talking
You was losing. Keep it real.
No, I'm keeping it a buck with you. No. Like early, like middle school days, yes. But later, once
I ain't did it in a couple years.
Once I grabbed who the essence of E was, is, am, what, it was over. But now I stopped doing that just because it was too. You'll get turned down just because you putting a girl on the spot. You look over, you see a group of guys. Her, go get her. And you go over there trying to be smooth. Hey, how you doing? They look back, look past you. It's 5 dudes like.
But I feel like hey, yo, I feel like that situation a little different because it was already like, you know, given that situation, like everybody had already had a round. Like, cool, like all right, cool. Once the bet is placed and everybody's searching, because don't nobody want to come out of pocket for this round because everybody know kind of what everybody think like, bro. Okay, don't make it obvious. Of course, you always got that one dude like, wait, who? Right, nah, don't. All right, you see Shorty sitting over there by herself. That's the one. That's the one right there. Like, bro, you don't be looking at what I'm looking at.
But like I said,
you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing.
But the people that I hung around with, like we graduated. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like when we was younger, yeah, we did that, and everybody looking and you know what I'm saying, commenting and stuff like that. And then we realized like some shit's gonna cut you down just because now they see that it's a game. You know what I'm saying? And the chick would say, "Oh, I'm not one to be playing with. I just ain't no game. I'm just not about to."
That I mean, that your circle was a little corny if they already found out it's a game. The whole point is.
No, but I'm saying you can see that from if me and you, like, let's just say scenario, boom, we throwing it. We talking right now, like, hey, bro, pull one, and we on some young stuff to where I'm like, hey, bro, I'm gonna go talk to her, and we talking, but then you like in the cut looking hard, like. A lot of people ain't stupid. Like, oh, okay, they probably made a bet. They probably made a bet on who gonna get the number or who gonna do whatever. I see your man's looking like, all right, look, man, I ain't want to be played with. You ain't about to play no. You starting off playing games. But like I said, we graduated to the point to where it's like, all right, if the bet is made, everybody not huddling up no more. The bet we didn't already made the bet in the car. Once you get there, now it's hunting season. Like, all right, now when you come back, like, hey, look, I got such and such number. Now it's like, damn, who was that? That's her over there, shorty behind you in the blue. Oh, okay, bet. You know what I'm saying? It was like we graduated to it because it was like, man, we getting shut down. And you're like, all right, because situations will happen where you'll get shut down, but then later, after you're away from your boys, they'll come back. Like, oh, okay. I noticed that you was da-da-da-da-da with your friends. I'd rather talk to you alone. Like, oh, okay. And then a lot of ladies see like, oh, well, you're different when you're by yourself. When you was with your people, you was talking like this. Because everybody, you know, we're trying to show out. It's cool.
But that's when I feel like the originality come in because, I mean, given that same scenario, I mean, depending on how comfortable you are in the situation, it's easy to find somebody and be like, all right. Because a lot of these things, like you said, to prevent what you're talking about, we all come in together, and then we be searching, and then, you know what I mean, everybody go their separate way. Like, yeah, yep, that's the one. And it's kind of like the Jaws thing me in my head, like, dun. Then the closer you get, dun, 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 and you like, oh, yeah, yep, I'm here. Play cool. Hey, how you doing? Oh, okay, you here by yourself, or you went with your friends, or, you know what I mean? We'll find out more information. That turns into just a general conversation. It's usually always, hey, what you drinking on? Let me get you a drink.
I stopped doing that too.
Yeah. Nah. You need that because I got one thing. I'm not buying this round, bro. And then you got people looking at you. You know what I mean? You always look around, but like, yeah, I can watch this.
That's the thing. What you do is you buy the round.
Watch.
You buy the round because one half these chicks is thirsty now, so they want to drink. So they see that you got some money. Hey, look, hey, round on me. Hey, sweetie. Yeah. Chilling. Hey, yeah. Get my boy. Hey, go ahead and get what y'all want. I got this one.
I didn't see. I didn't
He's
think
on-
about that
Yeah,
one.
I know you
I
did.
didn't
That's
think
what
about
I'm
that
saying.
one.
Come
That was
on
kind
now.
of smooth.
Come on
That
now.
was kind of smooth.
Hey man,
That was kind of smooth.
I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. You know what I'm saying? I got a whole little
Yeah,
book.
let me get my boys around. I ain't even big.
I got a whole little book. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I'm just,
nice. That's nice, though.
to pass down to somebody. You know,
I give credit where credit is due. That's
but
smooth,
you also
though.
didn't answer the question. What's your one of your lamest pickup lines? Whether it worked or didn't work. What's something that you actually let come out your mouth?
I used to be so intimidated by women for real, so a lot of my conversations was just a little awkward, like, hi. I'm James. Oh, I'm such and such. Nice to meet you.
Wasn't expecting that.
And I'm thinking in my head is like my brain says like red alert, like you got red alarms and stuff going off.
I mean,
and then usually I probably normally go off to like some weird fact about something. Did you know that such and such and such? No, I didn't know that. You like, yeah, that's crazy.
Okay. And you walk off. Okay.
It was nice talking to you. And she looking like this nigga weird.
Nah, I mean when I was younger, I used to be intimidated when I was younger. Not really intimidated, it's just like I didn't know what to say. You know what I'm saying? It's like but then like I said, I had a lot of female friends and relatives and stuff like that to where they kind of put me on game. Like, hey, look, just talk. Like you talk to anybody and everybody. Now don't talk exactly how you talk to your friends, but at the same time, they people too. Just talk. Like so, like I said, there's been plenty of times so where it wasn't the goal wasn't, oh, let me get her number, let me, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't hunting season, you know what I'm saying? It was just a typical day. Boom, we watching the game. Hey, somebody said right here. Oh no, you got it. Boom, and then next thing I know, like I had a conversation with this nice lady one day, and we talked the whole time, like no numbers exchanged, no social medias exchanged, nothing. We talked the whole time. She brought me around, I brought her around, and we watched the game. Like, hey, bro, I see you over there with like, nah, like I don't even know her name at this point.
I ain't gonna lie.
We just been talking.
At the end of the day, that's still whack. That's whack as anything. Though. I mean, the
What
vibe
you-
was mighty
what you
cool,
mean?
but just at the end of the meeting, not getting a number.
No, but
not
what I'm
bro,
saying is, I'm not saying that I probably couldn't. I'm just saying that wasn't the intent. I'm just saying that the vibe itself was so natural just by communication. We talking about the game. Hey, how was your day? You had man, that's a hard drink. You getting a double? You done had a hard week, huh? Like, yeah, man, I do this. You talking about your job? Like, all right. Now I think if the intent was to get the number and to further the interaction, then yeah, I probably could have got the number, or we probably would have exchanged something. But that wasn't the intent. And I'm just saying that as an example. Like, just most times, just talk. It don't matter how lame. It doesn't matter how corny. It doesn't matter how expected, unexpected. One, it's fun, man. Like if you ever been hunting or fishing before, you're not gonna get every fish in the pond. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you go in there, you pull up some trash. You might pull up a boot, like in the cartoon.
But how hungry you are depends on what you want to leave with. I mean, and
sometimes you got to go to another spot. Like I used to say all the time. My pops used to tell me the dating game was like playing pool, and people who know me know I've been saying this for years because once I understood the game of pool, I understood what my dad was talking about because he told me when I was in middle school and I had no idea what he was talking about. I'm like, what? But when I got older, I'm like, yeah, like, all right, you're not gonna sink every shot. Like I said, same thing when you're going fishing. You're not gonna get every fish every time you put your reel out there. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna sink every shot. Not all the time. Now, of course, you got some masters, but take the example for what the example is for. Sometimes you gotta set it up. Sometimes you gotta come back to it. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with the dating game or with these lines. Sometimes, hey, you might just have to do the introduction. Sometimes it might just be a 5-minute conversation today, but in 2 weeks down the road, you might run into that same individual. Like, oh snap, I remember you. Hey, what's up? How everything going? Now that conversation then sparked a little bit more, just off of the previous engagement. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a couple of notes to take with you, man. I told you I got a book of them. take it with you.
So would you agree that we agree that it depends on confidence, your timing, and your approach?
Yeah.
Confidence, timing, and your approach.
Yeah. I mean, because like I said, with me, one, I'm married now, so now I have no complex of talking to anybody because I know I'm not trying to pursue you. You know what I'm saying? So me getting engaged in different conversations don't really matter. But even before, it was just about just having an engagement and just having a talk. Like, hey, what's up? Now, if you're like, oh, no, you're not my type. All right, cool. You know, no, I got a boyfriend. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done heard no my whole life. You know what I'm saying? You're not telling me nothing to hurt.
The one thing I couldn't stand, I always thought it was funny to see would be the women that be sitting there. She'd be like more than likely at a table with her, you know what I mean, resting face on, and just be like, "Hey, how you doing? I got a man." All right. Oh, okay.
Cool.
And then her friends is out there like parlaying, like, bro, why would you come just to sit there? And I ain't saying you got to be mingling with no. You ain't even dancing. You just looking weird though, like, bro, like, yeah, have a nice day.
Have a nice night.
You thinking like, bro, I'm gonna say a prayer for you in the car, bro. You look like
I ain't even gonna think about you. Like, all right, cool. I ain't even gonna think about you. Like, all right, you have a good night. Poof, I'm gone. Like, all right, now, how you doing? You chilling? No, all right, cool. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like, some people get hung up. Like, oh no, you an ugly bitch. Like, nah, whatever.
Yeah, ultimately,
You know
her.
what
I
I'm
think
saying?
that's whack though. Yeah, I think that's lame as everything.
Like, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I've been in a lot of different situations. I've been in a situation where, oh well, hey, how you doing? Nah, okay. But then when I get to kicking in the park land, now it's like, oh snap, my bad.
I didn't know.
Nah, G, nah.
Yeah.
Like, keep that same energy. You know what I'm saying? That you had 20 minutes ago before you seen me kicking in and having fun. You thought I was just like, I'm just saying hi. I thought you was attractive. Like, and that's the thing that a lot of these women don't get is that you dress. They quote unquote say, oh, I dress up and I wear this and I do my makeup and my hair. I do this for me. Cool, but you're lying. You got ask any man, be like, oh, what you getting dressed up and looking for y'all, for the hoes, for the girls, for my woman. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this because you find this attractive. I didn't put this certain smell on because I like it. I like it because y'all like it. I like when I walk past and a chick be like, you smell good. Yeah, that's why I wore it.
You be walking past, shaking your head like,
that's why. Oh, I like them frames you got on. Oh, I like the way. Yes, I did it because you like it. Even people in a relationship, 9 times out of 10, they wear the stuff that they wear because they woman or their partner likes it. You know what I'm saying? So when women say like, "Oh, I'm doing this for me," all right, whatever. But at the same time, you're doing it because the opposite sex or whoever you're trying to attract also likes it. Of course, you might have liked that color or like that outfit. So of course, a piece of it you're doing for yourself. But at the same time, you're doing it to attract whatever it is that you're trying to attract. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree completely.
At the end of the day, man, chalk that up. If you're going to the club, you hunting just like the next man hunting. Just get over it. If somebody's not your type, all right, move on. But anyway, I had to get that first question out, man. Now we're gonna get back into some deeper conversation. I like to put the funny stuff first, especially if we're gonna get into some deep combo later. So, I was also it came up earlier this week about having a note to yourself. What would it be? And I think we talked about it before, but I really couldn't remember. And I tried to do my research, but I couldn't find it. So at the end of the day, if you could go back, not have a conversation with yourself, but just leave yourself a note. One, which age would you go back to leave yourself that note? And two, what would it be?
This would be
matter of fact, it was to give a more clarification on it. It was a TikTok that I was on, and it had a filter, note to younger self. And so I used the filter on my TikTok, and it had a note to my younger self, and I'm like, and it just had me thinking, like, all right, what would I actually say to my younger self? But go ahead.
Sometimes People just need to get punched in the face.
At what age would you go back and leave that note?
It'll be in middle school. Because I ain't gonna lie, I got picked on a lot. I mean, there was a couple times, getting bullied a lot was really like inside of it. And I'm not gonna lie, like I endured a lot of it. I didn't want to tell my mom that to have your mom at a certain age going up there instead of your dad.
Can't do it.
Without him really being around, it's like, bro, nah.
To be honest, like for me in that situation, I had that conversation with Ariana, with my oldest. I'm like, man, when we had bullying, but bullying wasn't as big as it is now, as far as like the way people talk about it. Like, oh well, such and such, this is bullying. We have a no bullying policy. Like no school where I went to said in orientation, we have a no bullying policy. No, I had never heard that until these kids and I started raising kids. I'm like, look, kids gonna pick on kids. I'm like, I picked on people. Did I consider myself a bully? No, I didn't. I consider myself just being a kid.
But I also looked at either some people need to get punched in the face, and then, dude, you're actually a lot cooler than you think you are. Kind of like, bro, go out there, be adventurous, be spontaneous, go out there, be who you are, and just always remember, somebody keeps constantly pestering you, punch them dead in the face, and then don't stop swinging until you get pulled off. That's it. That's my note to my younger self.
When I did the filter, the note said, life is a journey. Enjoy it while it lasts. And it was funny because I'm like, because it made me think like, all right, I had a wild ride. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you are new to the show, I've been very open and vulnerable about the things that are going on in my life as far as my health. So I get to this point, I'm dealing with a lot of stuff health-wise, but it's like, so it has me going back a lot, just thinking like, oh man. And one thing that I've always said, I don't really regret anything. If I did something, I did it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was right, wrong, or indifferent, I can't go back and change it, and I'm not going to let that situation control my present and my future. So if I've done it, I've done it. If I apologize for it, then I apologize for it. If I never got a chance to close that chapter, then it's closed without it being unclosed. You know what I'm saying? But if I could go back and tell myself something, my younger self, I would say, one, enjoy every moment. And two, love on keep your loved ones as close as possible. And I'll probably leave it like that. Because and if I had to, as far as which self I would give that to, probably 17, 18, around like my senior year, about to graduate, around that time. I would drop that, slide that in there, like, hey, look, bro, you're gonna have some wild moments, G. Buckle up and enjoy all of it. You know what I'm saying? And even enjoy the bad times, because like I said, you get older and you get to looking back at your life, and it's like, man, I wish I should have did this, or I could have changed this. If I can go back, I'll change this and I'll change that, and I'll do this different, and I'll do that different. To me, it's like, yeah, I can say that, but it's like those moments added up make me who I am today. Without those moments, then I could possibly be a totally different individual today. You know what I'm saying? So for me, for that, I appreciate the good and the bad. Even though, of course, don't nobody like going through the bad, but those moments, you know what I'm saying, are like they say in the comic book world, them canon moments. You know what I'm saying? Them canon events. Sometimes they have to happen to make you who you are. Like as far as in the Spider-Man world, Aunt May or Uncle Ben, somebody in this family has to die. You know what I'm saying? If you are into those, Marvel movies and DC and stuff like that, Batman's parents has to die. You know what I'm saying? Iron Man gotta go through, like, these people, for them to be the superheroes and the individuals that they are, these moments had to happen
in order to push them for them to be great.
Right. Yeah. So no matter how many times they want to go back and change it, even when they change one thing, something else either happens worse. Like even with the Doctor Strange speaking of, keeping it Marvel, is that he went back a couple different times trying to change it because he wanted the woman that he loved. And each time
it got worse.
Yeah. She still died. No matter, oh well, I made it right the first time. I'm gonna make it left. Matter of fact, we not gonna go.
And then it was like every time she died worse than what she did die.
Yeah. So it's like either way it go, this is still gonna be the end result because what you learned from it. So hence going back to the quote, learn from your yesterday, live for the day, and hope for your tomorrow. And that's kind of why, like I said, I picked that because I kind of live by that. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I did some stuff in my past, like whether, like I said, right, wrong, or indifferent. So there's some things that I messed up on. There's some things that I've done wrong. But at the same time, did I learn from that? Did I learn from my mistake? Like, all right, man, damn, that's messed up. I can't go back and change it. Only thing I can do is atone for it, apologize for it, and move and learn and move forward to where if I'm back in this situation in the future, now this is where I do something different. You know what I'm saying? And then I can also live in my present. And then I can hope for my future. I hope that in the future I can be able to do this situation different or this situation different because I've learned from where I already made mistakes.
I was a little surprised that you made it at the 18, 17 versus a little younger. What do you think kind of influenced you to go kind of later on in life instead of earlier in life?
Earlier, man, I was cool. I don't think it was nothing I needed to know earlier. Like, cause like I said, like I didn't have a bad upbringing, and I never tried to pretend like I did. I never put anything on my parents that they didn't do, or you know what I'm saying. They did the best they could, and I understood that. I understood that then. I didn't have the best shoes or the newest J's. You know what I'm saying? But I had clean shoes on my feet. I played sports. I was in a lot of different programs coming up. So as far as me talking to my younger self, I don't think it was really nothing I needed to tell my younger self. If I was going to say something to my younger self, it'd be, don't be scared to talk to that girl. Go ahead and talk to her. She actually like you. Like, you know what I'm saying? On some situation like that, but it's like, that's more of a personal game if I'm going to go back and say that to myself. If I was actually going to say something meaningful to myself, I would go back between 17 and 18, around the time that I was getting ready to graduate high school and actually get ready to
enjoy the new part of your life, your new life towards adulthood.
Yeah, towards adulthood. Like, hey, listen, bro, you about to go into adulthood. Enjoy it, but keep, you know what I'm saying, keep dear near to your family. Because like I said, like knowing what I know now, would I stop the sad parts? No, because like I said, some of those things have to happen. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if I know that those things was going to happen, it's like, hey, I would have hugged a little bit tighter. I would have spent a little bit more time. You know what I mean? I would have tried to go out and do some different stuff. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. But and then also, like I said, enjoy your moments. I felt like I enjoyed them when I was in them. But that, like I said, that would just be something I would say, like, hey, have fun, man. Like we said on the show before when we was talking about dang, I can't remember her name. When she was talking about be ratchet and reckless in your 20s and all of that. And I was saying then, like, I kind of agree to a certain extent. Now, of course, don't take no penitentiary chances, but enjoy being young. Like, you're not gonna be young forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and my mom and my pops, we used to get into different discussions and arguments, and they're like, hey, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. And I'm like, man, I be hearing y'all war stories. You feel me? Like, y'all sound like y'all had a ball in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they did.
But it was a different time. All right, cool. Well, let me have mine. So just like our kids are entering they teenage years and stuff like that. Like, look, and I tell my daughter all the time, like, enjoy it. Try something new. Try something that you haven't done before.
You might actually like it and be good at it.
You might like it. Make a new friend. You know what I'm saying? Talk it like, hey, you know what? How you doing, man? My name is, you feel me? Like, you never know, because I'm like, it's certain bonds that you have for life. Like, just think about it, bro. I've known you for about 10 plus years now, right? Yeah. So if and I don't even remember who initiated once. It was at a job. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the conversation, without me being open, we wouldn't be sitting here doing this podcast right now. Or even vice versa. If you wasn't open, we probably wouldn't be sitting here doing this podcast. The friendship wouldn't have got to this point.
Yeah, that's facts.
If we just kept it as, oh, that's my coworker. But it was like, nah, cuz seemed cool. Then we get to talking, You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, bro, let's kick it. Let's go hang out. You know what I'm saying? And those experiences, and that's just how, like I said, growing up for me, especially after high school, that's just how I was. I'm like, man, anything I get the opportunity to do, I'm gonna do it.
So it is one of those things to where it's kind of like, I think we've made enough decent decisions to where, maybe some things could be a little better, maybe, but as far as the whole thing, I feel like things have worked kind of in our favor, honestly. I mean, like I said, minus a couple things, give or take, but everything kind of happened to get us to this point, and it's not as bad as it could be. I can say that much. It's most
but that's what I'm saying, because like we see all these different movies where people like the butterfly effect.
Yeah, that was
man, my life sucks. I want to go back and change this, and each time you go back and change it, your future ends up worse and worse and worse and worse. To eventually, you're like, look, I don't even. It's gonna be better for everybody if I just do it this way, and I'll never know them again.
And it kind of ends up going back to what I just said. Actually, we cool. I should have never changed nothing then.
Right.
If I knew that things was gonna get worse, very rarely does anything get better.
Right.
It usually always gets worse. So then you get to the point to where it's like you said, like, all right, I shouldn't have touched nothing for real.
Yeah.
I was actually cool where I was.
Yeah. Like even if you go back and go, oh man, I can go back and do this, and then I'll be rich. Yeah, you could be rich, but like I said, them learning experiences. If you change your learning experiences one way, then you gain a different set of learning experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to find a good way to put it, but it's just I don't know. Like basically what we're already saying. You go back and you change something. Now, we all watch different movies talking about, especially with all the DC and Marvel movies with the different timelines,
time travel,
and all of that type stuff. Stuff can always be different, but it's not always in your favor. You know what I'm saying? And I've always had that type of thought process, even growing up. And a lot of my parents and older relatives, didn't like it. Like, hey, look, but we're telling you to do this better, but you want to just go through it and get in trouble, and you want to just do it the hard way.
You want to do it your way, don't you?
Yeah. Right. And I'm like, man, it's not a fact that I wanted to do it my way, which yes, I did. It was just the fact that, like, man, you guys are the people that I look up to, and y'all that had all different type of trials and tribulations
and experiences,
and it's like all those experiences made you who you are, and I look up to you, and it's like, man, if I can even come close to the person that you is, then I think I'm a success.
And then even when you get to those situations, and then you even look back and you telling your kids or whoever, they be like, bro, that sounds so cool. You like, really? Like, yeah, bro. Like, bro, your experiences inspired me to have my experiences. Like,
yeah, but I
think ultimately it turns out like that.
I try to tell like my kids, my nieces, my nephews, like, look, I got stories for y'all all day. Now, I'm not telling you this because I want you to do it. I'm not telling you to try to relive it, but I'm just telling you, like, this is just a little bit about my life. You know what I'm saying? So when it's all said and done, you can be like, hey, I know about my uncle. Man, my uncle was cool back in the day. He was this when he was in his 20s. Oh, my dad was when he was back in his 20s and early 30s and this, that, and the third. Because once again, you're not going to be young forever. You know what I'm saying? Like we had on a show before when we was talking about work hard now, play later. And I'm like, man, I kind of agree with that, but not really. I think you need to split time and try to do it all while you can. Because it's been people that you work for 50 years, you work for 50, 60 years, and then you get 12 years to do what you want. I finally got to retirement.
But then you ain't useful enough to enjoy it.
Now you 76 and
you
retired.
go on vacation and you sleep the whole time.
You sleeping. Like, nah, man, take that trip when
you're
25.
Got people that BS the whole time and end up in prison for most of their life.
True.
And then you like, bro, Well, I had as much fun as I could, yeah, but now you ain't got nothing. Now you living
still
from
wasting
paycheck
your
to
life. So
paycheck.
it's
Now
like-
you can't retire.
Right.
So yeah.
So everybody that's watching and listening, man, leave a comment, leave a suggestion. If you could go back and talk to your younger self, or not talk to, if you can go back and leave a note to your younger self, what would it be? I'll probably try to drop it on social media this week, maybe like a question of the week type deal, and see what some of you guys have to say. And you never know. We might bring this back up later down the road because we sense to do that. Because sometimes I be forgetting what we talk about. Because we've been doing this for a while now. So yeah, what would you say to your younger self? Now moving on, because I cannot see that time. But yeah, we rolling.
45.
Okay, we did. We're doing good. Now this one was actually yours. Now for the record, it's no need to say that. But yeah, this topic actually coming from you. It is name an emotion that masters you more than you rule it. And I thought that was a neat post that you put, and I was like, hey, yeah, we gotta.
Why don't you go first on this one? Why don't you go first?
An emotion that masters me. The only thing I can actually think of for the most part, I would have to say pride. And when I say pride, I mean like that whole asking for help. Now, am I a lot better at it? Yes. Do I have a problem with asking people for help in certain situations? No. But usually that's not my first go-to. 9 times out of 10, I'm the guy that's, don't worry about it, I got it. Oh, do you need some? Nah, I got it. But at the same time, I'm also like, hey, look, I don't know what I'm doing. Hey, and I'll go to that person for help. But if I had to pick which emotion, I'll probably have to go with pride more than anything, because I've made a conclusion a long time ago to try to master all my emotions as much as possible, because I never wanted to be that person or that guy that wasn't in control of his emotions. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Because it's a lot of people out here, it's a lot of guys out here now that are not in control of their emotions. And then that's when you get that toxic masculinity and all of that type of stuff, because you're not in control of your emotions. You're depressed, but you're taking it out on your lady or your siblings or your coworker or your boss, or you know what I'm saying? And I try to talk to my oldest, she's in high school. So she's getting closer and closer to adulthood. And one thing I've been telling her over the last couple of years is to be in control of your emotions. Just because something's happening to you, that is not nobody else's problem. If you get up and you're on the wrong side of the bed, you got a headache. Oh, Joe Blow at your school didn't know that you woke up with a headache. They didn't know that you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. It's not their problem that you're having a bad day. That's your problem. And you need to be in control of your emotions. So just because you're mad doesn't mean you need to be mad to everybody. It's not everybody's problem.
I get that. So said as far as your emotion,
as far as me, I would say probably pride. Most times it's like, hey, I'm gonna take it on the chin myself. Like I said, right, wrong, or indifferent.
So would you say you got hit with a lot of that? Why didn't you just ask for help?
Yeah.
In the end, like once, especially if would you say you had like maybe a lot of instances to where it got too strong for you to carry or too heavy for you to carry?
Not really. Most of the stuff, and like I said, this is the way my mind works. You know what I'm saying? Most of the stuff that I have to carry, I feel like I'm built for it. So even right now, that my current situation with my health and all of that type stuff, I feel like I'm built for it, because I can't see nobody else around me having to go through the things that I'm going through. Even with past stuff, I can't see anybody else around me having to deal with the things that I had to deal with before. So with that being said, I'm like, well, evidently I had to be built for it, because it came, it went, and now I'm on the other side of the storm. I didn't been in the storm a couple different times. So as far as me being prideful, like growing up, it's like, hey, Eric, why did you try to do that yourself? Like, I don't know. Like, I thought I could do it. All right, next time ask for help. All right, I'll try. But and for me, it's not asking for help for everything. It's asking for the personal help, the deep seated help. Like, hey, I need a mentor. Hey, I need somebody to talk to about this feeling that I got. Stuff like that.
Kind of now, self struggling a little bit.
Like if it's cleaning out the garage, I don't care. I'm gonna call somebody like, hey, yo, bro, what you doing today? Nothing. Hey, bro, you trying to help me clean out this garage, bro? You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem asking for that time. Hey, we moving today. Hey, bro, you mind helping us move this house? Now, if people can't come through and I got to do it myself and do it on my own, then all right, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of that happens when people do ask for help and they get shut down. And I think a lot of individuals don't really see that other side of it. You always hear people say, well, you should ask for help. You should ask for help. But you never know. That person probably did ask before. Maybe not currently, but maybe they asked a couple different times before. Like, hey, I need some help with this. And then you get in the, nah, you got it. Nah, or I can't help you right now or whatever. And you've been turned down so many times.
People get discouraged from
it. It's like, why ask anybody for anything? I'm gonna just do it myself. You know what I mean? So I think if I had to boil it down, I would say pride, but it's also something that I'm also still working on too. But I'm also a nonchalant guy that it is what it is type of person. So
yeah, I can dig it.
But what about you?
I'll say love or my heart for real. It's put me in a doozy more than once for real. And that's whether it's caring too much about a certain situation or a certain individual that generally does not benefit or is not good for me at all. I'll say, just like the quote in the Bible is that the heart is treacherous. Just like having your heart so much into a predicament or situation, like I said, it doesn't benefit me. And then when things eventually hurt, sometimes it's just letting go because I care so much. And sometimes it's hard to just let go, leave it right where it is, and move on. Sometimes I like to hold grudges and let things stew a lot for real. Mm-hmm. I think for a part of time, all jokes used to call me Stu. Like, bro, I'm gonna start calling you Stu, bro. Because you one of them Stu people, bro. You be just sitting there and just letting things just stew for no reason. Like, bro, you've been focused on this one situation or this one person for 2 years now. Like, bro, come on, bro. I'm gonna start calling you Stu. That's your name now.
I remember us having that conversation, bro. But like I said, that's what the bonds and the relationships is for. Like I like everybody who knows me, I've told people I'm not that friend that's gonna be a yes man. I'm not gonna agree with everything you come up with. If it's fire and I agree with you, I'm gonna tell you I agree with you. If I think it's stupid, I'm gonna tell you I think it's stupid. If I think you need to vent, all right, cool. I can be that shoulder that you can vent to, cry on, all of that. That's cool. But you only gonna be able to do that for so long. You know what I'm saying?
But then on the other side of the spectrum is, and still involving like love in your heart and certain things like that, I feel like like what a lot of individuals, especially when you're working on a certain aspect about yourself, it's very easy to go straight to the dark side. Now I don't care enough about anything. Oh, such and such just happened. Like, so? Because it's like you love less, so you just flip that switch now. It's all, but it's all about balance.
I'm about to say the same thing.
It's all about balance.
We haven't really used it as much as this year as we usually do. I was just about to say that. Like, man, I'm gonna bring it back. Balance. It is, man, and that's what life is all about. Everybody like, oh, I want peace. I'm searching for peace. I gotta shut everybody out to find my peace. And to me personally, I don't agree with that. I don't. I mean, we talked about that before. Like, all right, I just need solitude for a while. Like, I don't think that's what you need, man. I think you need to be around some people that love you. But like I said, that's just my opinion and my perspective, because I know me. Like if I'm in a dark spot and I'm by myself and I put myself in solitude while I'm in that dark state, then I'm gonna stay there and I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole. because I'm just focusing on the negative, the negative, the negative, the negative, the negative, especially if you're not strong enough to see the other side and pull yourself out, because a lot of people are not. That's why therapy is a big trend now. You got more people in the Black community going to therapy than ever before.
And it's a wonderful thing.
It is. It's great. Everybody that's in therapy, continue. Hey, I'm hoping it's working for you. But it's also those people that's like myself that they take their therapy with their friends and their families and their loved ones, their close circle. I rather, like I said before on the show, I'd rather have an open up heart to heart with you versus go sit down. Even though, yeah, you got these college degrees, yeah, you know what you're doing, but you don't know me. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? That's weird because even especially in the Black community, and we're not even talking about just adults. Like I feel like actually, honestly, a lot of us as children needed somebody else to talk to. And then for one, I feel like if you're a child, I know like in some situations, like take my son for example, like, how do you feel about that? Like, yeah, I feel like it'll be good. Okay, I mean, like, you know, like he has an auntie and a couple people that are in the field for therapy. I'm like, all right, so would you like a time set aside to talk to her? Or do you want somebody kind of outside the circle to talk to who you, because you know, as a kid, sometimes it's like you have so much you don't want to tell this person because you feel like either
you'll be judged.
It's about trust. I'm gonna be judged. You gonna open your mouth to such and such, then they're gonna know, and I'm gonna get in trouble. Versus, no, I mean, actually, I would feel more comfortable talking to this stranger, even without a kid, not really thinking about, oh, they got these degrees. They just like, well, they say you a good person to talk to, so let me talk to you. Let me see. Right. Let me see. And I feel like it's a beautiful thing, even when kids are seeking therapy now. Because there's a lot that they do go through, and I feel like it's a good thing to help them without being, you know, older and then having all this mental baggage that it's hard for them to get over. And then by the time they look at it, they 35, 40 years old talking about something that happened when they was 10 or 12, and they just can't get over
trauma. So like me and my oldest, we talk all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like my youngest, she's 6. I let her be 6. Mm-hmm. Carefree. You know what I'm saying? But my oldest, like I said, they 9 years apart. So I talk to her. I'm like, hey, how you mental? You all right? Yeah, all right. And I try to establish a long time ago, hey, you can talk to me about anything. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I don't care. I'd rather you don't have to bottle it up. You don't have to keep it to yourself. You don't have to think like, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble. I don't care. I don't care if you went out here and committed murder. Come tell your dad.
I don't, bro.
But I'm being for real.
I gotta get what
you
you
know
said.
what I'm
It was just like, bro, you got a body or two. You got a body or two. You know it happens.
But I don't want you. But I'd rather you come and tell me, and I know now at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Hey, did you know? Hey, yeah, she told me. Like, man, she did. She didn't tell nobody else. I don't care about nobody else. But I care about your mental. Like, I don't want you, because I see all these trends happening, and I see all these kids committing suicide and stuff like that, and it's like, so you couldn't talk to your parents? Like when I was growing up, I didn't have those issues.
I think at the same time when we were younger too, our parents didn't believe in therapy either.
No,
they're like, ain't nothing wrong with you. Yeah. Boy, you know what my therapy was? Like,
so for one end, my mom believed in therapy for one end as far as to my knowledge. Because that's not something that we actually talked about even when I got older. We didn't really talk about it. But they did send me to a therapist when I was young because they thought something was wrong with me. They was like, bro, and then the therapist said, like, bro, ain't nothing wrong with him. He's just lazy. Okay. And then after that, it was like, all right, well, let me stop paying this therapist because ain't nothing wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? It was more about my grades and school and conduct. Like, no, he just get bored easy and he freaking lazy. He needs hands-on stuff. And it was one of those type situations. So, but as far as everything goes, yeah, of course, like, ain't nothing wrong with you, boy. You know what I'm saying? Go outside, sweat. You know what I'm saying? Work out. What are you talking about?
Dirty, yeah. Your hands dirty. Like, yeah.
And it's just situations like that, and we grew up like that, so I still feel that same way, even when it comes to my children and nieces and stuff like that.
But I honestly look at that, though. I honestly look at that like that's a beautiful thing that at least they like, all right, we gonna get down to the bottom of what's wrong with you. And I feel like always at least initially taking that step, because it took me a while to actually understand the concept of what therapy actually was. It's not that they're going to tell you, or they're not supposed to tell you, I would do this. No, they help you figure it out by asking you questions, and then they'll let you know, hey, okay, instead of looking at it this way, why don't you look at it this way? Next time this situation happens, look at it more this.
Yeah, try this.
I will say that one unhealthy thing that you do is this. And they, like I said, to get down, but at least the initial effort of we're going to pay or hire somebody that's trained and knowledgeable about the mind and about the reason why people think the way they do. I feel like that's a great thing to at least start it and then see where you go to from there.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not against therapy at all. Anybody that's doing it, keep on doing it. You know, hoping it's working for you.
We got comments. We got 2 comments.
Man, and I don't see it on here. No.
Hold on. I'm gonna try to go to.
Can you see that?
Huh?
We got 1 comment. It's Aaron, and I can't read that from here.
Hold on. I'm about to get on. About to get on the tube though.
Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up. Did it come up? I say live chat. Where you at? These glasses were just for show, people. You see, I took them up just.
And I got on glasses. I ain't gonna lie. It's far and small. So
and I know y'all don't want me to put my face all in the camera. I know y'all like me, but you know, y'all don't like me that much.
Hold on.
But just while you looking that up, I'm looking for it. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna do it like this. Whatever.
I'm about to do
whatever. It's our show, bro. I didn't get therapy. I just got my ass beat. I didn't have a lot. I didn't have a lot happen when I was a kid, but the few things that I did, man, facts. Like, but that was.
But I feel like that was their therapy or their suggestion for us as kids. Oh no, I got some therapy for you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get you.
Want to go talk to somebody?
How you gonna talk to this belt?
Talk to this belt. Like,
I'm gonna talk to your dad. You gonna tell your dad how you feel.
Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm all for therapy. I'm all for kids having therapy. I'm all for all of it. But at the same time, I do believe that a lot of people in this generation are soft. I do.
No, to a certain point.
I know, but you didn't let me elaborate before I continued on that. I think a lot of the generation is soft. I think any little minor thing, it's, well, let's go talk. I think a lot of this gentle parenting is going way too far.
Okay, I wouldn't say soft. I would say dang, soft was not the word I wanted to use. I'd say rather not emotionally unintelligent. Not emotional intelligence, unintelligent, but I mean what is the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. The word I'm looking for, I can't think of.
Like I said, man, that's just my perspective. My perspective and how I feel about it. Because it's like, all right, yeah, man. Oh, well, like I said, I talked to my daughter a lot of different times. Like, hey, how's your mental? You know what I'm saying? I've asked her, do you think you need to talk to somebody? Nah, Dad, I'm cool. All right, you sure? Yeah. Well, if you can't talk to me and you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. Don't keep nothing bottled in. And I told her, I don't want you to get 25, 30, 35 years old talking about what my parents treated me like this and I never got over this trauma. Like, no, if you got any trauma in your life right now, then talk to me right now. And a lot of people they want to break generational curses, which is all great. But it's like sometimes you're trying to break certain generational curses and now you starting other generational curses. Yeah, and of course you're not going to see it because it ain't generational yet. But I seen this analogy one time. It was an example. Like a dad worked hard. One dad didn't have any money, so he worked hard to get money. So now his son had money. Basically, I'm trying to remember how they said it. A rich dad raises a lazy son. A poor dad raises a rich son. And basically what they were saying is you worked hard to gain all this wealth because you wanted your kids to have something better. But now they're growing up in the better and now they don't know how to work for nothing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Versus when you were struggling, but you was teaching your child more core values. So now when they get older, now it's like, hey, look, I seen my dad work hard. He didn't quite get there yet, but now I know it. Now I can get there.
But then also you see that a lot in a lot of these celebrities not leaving any money for their kids, which I feel like it's one of them 50-50. Like I can understand, well, my kids grow up with a better life and da da da. I feel like emotional intelligence is the best way to say what I was trying to say. Emotional fortitude. That's the way I want to say it. Emotional fortitude. Because if you have at least some type of substantial or solid mental foundation, you will get to learn about how to deal with your emotions. And I feel like the first thing of which is knowing how to have a conversation, which I'm happy because I see a lot of parents showing their kids that, especially when they're really young. Okay, how do you feel? Okay, you're angry. Why are you angry? Don't just sit there and cry or throw a tantrum. No, talk. You need to learn to use your words. Why do you feel this way?
Yeah.
And then once we get there, okay, well, what are we going to do now? Because obviously you sitting and crying about it is not solving the issue. It does not. And then once again, it's not, it's about having that balance.
Yeah.
It's not to say you should never cry, no, but it's a time and a place. And then it's a time to figure out what you need to do to get back on track until that's over. And then.
But that's what I was going on when I was saying about it's a lot of soft people. Because you do that, and then some people, they don't give the other half. They don't give now what do you do now since you've talked about your emotions? Now we're growing up in a world to where a lot of people think that, because I'm upset about something, somebody else is supposed to care. And like I said, when I talked to matter of fact, I just had this conversation this week with my youngest. And she's 6. I said something, she was sleepy. She was tired. And she said she was cold. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're cold, go put your robe on. Put some socks on your feet, do some things that you can control, which is put on some more clothes so you won't be cold. So I'm continuing with myself, and I'm hearing her crying. She done went in the room, slammed her door. Yo, don't slam no doors in my house. What's wrong with you? I don't know. Did you hit your toe? Did you and your sister get into it? All right, no. All right, well, I didn't yell at you. I just told you to put a robe on. Well, I didn't want to put on. Okay, well, don't put it on then and stay being cold. So we realize you tell me what you're crying for. Well, I'm crying because of this. Okay, now why? Because of this. Now, am I supposed to care? Is that something that I can control? Or is that, just hear me out. Is that something that I can control? Or is that something that you can control? Are you cold? Yes, sir. What can you do to control you being cold? Well, I could put my robe on, or I can change my pajamas and put on something warmer. Exactly. Is that a reason to be crying? No. So now, why are we crying? Well, Dad, to be honest, I'm really just tired. Thank you. Now we didn't had to drag it out, but now, okay, you're tired. It's okay to be tired. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like you said earlier, it's about balance. Now, and I think a lot of people are teaching your kids the one half of it. Like, hey, let's talk about your feelings. All right, cool. Now you're talking about it. But I'm like, the thing is that the rest of the world is not going to give a crap about your feelings. And to gain that emotional intelligence, as you were speaking of, not only do you have to admit what it is that you're in, the emotion that you have. Now, what are the things that you can control while you're there? Now, in this situation, yeah, you're cold. What can you do? Okay, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Now, if you do all of that first, is there a reason to cry? No. Dad, you know what? You're absolutely right. And then after that, boom, smooth.
I feel like it's personally irresponsible to call somebody soft. I used to think it was funny, like watching Bernie Mac and stuff like that. But then at the same time, on the flip side, it's also, and me kind of being a victim of that as well. Oh, well, men don't cry. Men don't do this. Men don't do that. That still is to a certain point, and especially when it comes to the toxic masculinity, that still does get pushed by a lot of men that didn't have fathers or their father wasn't there when they were younger. That ideology still does get pushed. And so what you have is a lot of mental breakdowns from them not having a decent amount of mental fortitude. That's why I say it's still irresponsible. But like, this generation is soft to a point. But if they don't have that mental fortitude, or that mental intelligence to be like, okay, what did I learn when I was younger? Instead, because there are a lot of cases to where when you think about toxic masculinity and you think about what a lot of women like and what a lot of women promote, you can even take in the music now. They promote that toxic masculinity by men. Oh, well, yeah, I want, just like, who was it? Sexy Red that was giving an interview. She was like, when the dude, hey, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The next thing somebody did for me was he hit a lick and he gave me all his money just because it was my birthday. And bro, but that's what our daughters are watching. You know what I mean? Because influence is an influence. You get what I'm saying? We talked about that for the past couple years. You get what I'm saying? And so with this toxic masculinity still going on, you still have to worry about mental fortitude and if they have it. And then once again, even if they do have it, with all kids being different and all adults being different, some people still struggle with it and they need more work on that. Because some people just don't know how to handle certain emotions. And these is grown ass adults. These is adults raising kids.
But that's,
and
what,
that's
I'm
what makes it dangerous.
But how do you? That's what I'm saying.
By building your mental fortitude.
Okay, but how do you? That's what I'm saying. You're saying words. Okay, you gotta get your mental fortitude up. Okay, but how?
For one, it starts with the parents. It starts with communication. It starts with responsibility. Because I've seen a lot of parents now, even with these grown kids, I've even went through this myself, having some type of childhood traumas against things that my parents have done, and a lot of them just throw it off. Oh, well, you need to get over that. Okay, well, no. How about the right answer will be, okay, I can see that this is really bothering you. I personally feel like you're a bit too old to still be on this. But matter of fact, instead of looking at it like that, because I care, how about we sit down and let's talk about it? And those are those uncomfortable conversations that need to be had.
Not really.
Yes.
No, they don't. Just
okay, so you did something wrong, and then you're just like, oh, well, that happened that long ago. Right here, I got it right here, bro.
Oh, you got it?
I got it right here. Because what it is it won't show up until you hit the comment.
Oh, okay.
Then you got to hit this. All right, so shouts out to Aaron. It says, society telling men take no L's and you got to win even if somebody loses their life. Sexy Red should get her old episode.
Man, for real. But like,
I feel that though.
What I'm saying is that just because you feel that somebody else needs to say this to you doesn't make it right. Just it's cases that don't always have to be closed. You don't need to worry about what somebody else has done to give you that satisfaction of, okay, now I can overcome it because now you're opened up to. No, it doesn't. It's about you, about what your mental fortitude is. That your mental fortitude has nothing to do with somebody else's response.
But at the same time, the world is lacking compassion. The world does lack compassion. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So and it's getting worse.
But what does compassion have to do with my mental fortitude?
That's yours. You and me are two different people.
Exactly.
We are both adults.
But what I'm saying is,
remember when I said
how is compassion going to help your, like, it's me. Like I said, when I look into the mirror, it ain't nobody else. At the end of the day, it ain't nobody else. There's nobody else. When you got your trauma, you wake up with your trauma. You go to sleep with your trauma. There's nobody bringing it and putting it in front of your face every time. Like, hey, keep focusing on this trauma. Keep focusing on this trauma. No, that's you keep focusing on the trauma. So at the end of the day, that's what I'm saying is that everybody else, with the lack of compassion, and it's a lack of accountability. They're looking for somebody else to fix them. Oh, I feel sad. I need you to make me feel happy. Oh, I'm in this partnership. Then I'm in this relationship because I need you to make me okay. No, I don't need no. It ain't. It's on me
to make myself
happy. It's on me to make myself.
But now we have these tools. But Skip. Let me tell you this. Skip.
Don't call me Skip.
Skip.
Don't call me Skip.
Skip. Let me tell you. Skip.
Don't do that.
All right. So it's also more or less like this. The reason why I brought up you being you and me being me is, like I said, some people have a harder time coming to an understanding and acceptance, and then that follow through of what to do next. And with that being said, there's an initial starting point that starts that thought process. Like as long as you and baby girl keep having conversations like that, the older she gets, the more it's going to be embedded in her brain. Okay, calm down. All right, I'm upset. Okay, why am I upset? I'm upset because of this. I'm upset because of this. What options do I have to change this? That's the thought process. But it gets worse and it gets frowned upon the older you get. You're like, oh man, you still ain't figured this out? That's the way it's approached and that's the way it's looked at. Oh, well, you too old to be stewing on such and such. Instead of, that's what I mean by the compassion. If somebody still doesn't know because they were never trained to think this way, they still have to go through that thought process and then continuously get that whenever they start to get it. Hey, you losing balance. Folks, remember what we talked about?
Yeah, but at the same time, when does self-accountability come into effect?
Self-accountability goes to the point to where you know that you need help. If you don't have any type of self-accountability, you're going to keep making the same mistakes and do like the rest of these boneheads do. And I'm a Scorpio, so I'll do that. Oh, I'm a bitch. I was born in the year of the dragon.
Which is also a big thing. Just as you said, lack of compassion.
Just putting it off on something.
But I'm saying, just like you saying, the world have a lack of compassion. The world also has a lack of accountability. It's always, I'm.
No, they took accountability. They're not taking the right, because I just told you, if you told me I'm doing something that's real toxic, and this, that, and the third, I'm taking accountability. I'm acknowledging it. Oh, I do this because I'm a Scorpio. I mean, you took accountability because you know it's wrong. You're making an answer for why it's wrong. I just accepted what you said, that what I'm doing is not right. Now, my answer and the way I handled that is completely trash. Hold on, we got another comment. It says, the kids nowadays don't have any accountability because it's never taught. The kids can't even fight without the parents jumping in the mix because they don't want their kids to lose. And that kind of goes with also Aaron was talking about in the previous one, where it's the mentality of don't take no L's. You ain't got no choice to be a winner. And I get that. Sometimes you do gotta lose. But you got, and it sucks to lose, and everybody wants to win. But somebody's gotta lose.
You have to. And I've said this, me and you had this conversation before, because I say I'm a winner all the time. But the thing is, and I truly believe that, but I've also taken so many L's. My dad, like, I don't let my kids win in nothing. I don't care if they girls. I don't care if you're 6. I don't care if you're 3. I'm not letting you win in nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always a lesson in that loss. When I was like, we could take it as simple as just playing video games. You know what I'm saying? With an older brother or sibling or whatever. You know what I'm saying? My little cousin, I used to whoop him and mad and religiously. If I could put up 100 on him, I would put 100 on him, 100-0. I done made him cry. I done made him cut the game off.
I think we all been there before. I
used to do that. You know what I'm saying? But those lessons, then you get to, nah, bro, he ain't beating me again. Nah, he ain't beating me again. Those losses teach you how to win. Them people that have won in life that never took a loss, those are those different type of arrogant individuals that's just like, man, like, that's why
they don't understand what it's like to lose.
So that's why you hear them phrases, act like you've been here before. You know what I'm saying? Act like you've been here before, because all of that stuff goes into play. And Aaron's correct. You also correct too. Is like, these things aren't being taught. And the thing that I like to try to pass down to my daughters and my nieces when we have these conversations, and my nephews when we have these conversations, is the world is not gonna care. I care.
Yeah, that's true.
I care. Everybody else is not gonna care.
But I will say it's always important. I just got that actually before we even started the cast. I got a friend of mine who just got done doing some time, a couple years being boxed in, and so I'm doing a wellness check on him. Like, hey, how's it going? And I think they're kind of in the halfway house, which is right before they get fully released back into society. And Shorty was like, I feel alone. Like, I feel kind of more alone here in this predicament than I did when I was inside. And when I got done telling Shorty, is that that's something that you kind of have to get used to, because that's kind of how the world is. And with that being said, for one, it's a lot of different things we can talk about when it comes to that. But mostly it's just like, as long as you got a few people to kind of talk to and just to help you, sometimes that's all you need. You don't need to have 50. I feel like everybody needs somebody.
Mhm.
And I think I got that song about somebody loves you, baby. Dun, 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 dun. Somebody. Dun, 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 dun. I'm about to start my single.
No, you're not.
You're not being compassionate at all. My feelings hurt.
I don't care.
I started crying now. You like, this what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Look at him front. This what I'm talking
And then look at him and look at me. I don't care. The world is not gonna care.
Don't put a whole spice on me. Look at me, then look at him. Then look back at me.
Do I care? But you know, all in all, just wrapping that up so we can get up out of here is that the one thing I try to teach and let the younger generation know is that everybody else doesn't have to care. They don't have to care about your emotions. That's you. You're not always going to get every chapter closed. You know what I'm saying? You're not always going to get that gratification on, okay, we actually talked about it. Like, no, you're not always going to get that.
Get that closure.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that it's your life that you have to live with or without that closure. So even if you don't verbally get it from that person or that event or that moment, you have to go within yourself and get it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yes, like I said, I've been through a lot, man, and I can honestly say where I'm at right now, I'm at peace with a lot of different stuff and that's a whole different chapter. But one thing is that I understand the courts don't care what I'm going through. The next person, my neighbor don't care what I'm going through. The person across the street don't care what I'm going through. Don't nobody know that I was sick this morning or yesterday or down bad. All they know is who you are in front of them. Somebody else can be having just as bad of a day or even worse. I don't know that. So that's why I try to take everything with a grain of salt and just treat people how I want to be treated. If I'm gonna hold the door open, I'm gonna hold the door open. Your day could be worse than mine. It's all I don't know that. And I can't be mad with the world or with my situation and expect somebody else to come to my rescue. It could be messed up. It could be a messed up way of thinking. It could be.
But it's a messed up world.
At the same time, I'm not waiting for nobody to come to my rescue. And the way I was taught, don't. You save yourself. You be your own damn superhero.
Save yourself, and if you can't, it doesn't hurt to look for help. Especially if you've never experienced that, go find some help. Go look for it.
Before we get out of here, do you got anything new as far as where to find you at? You know, the Instagram page, and I know you got Culture Corner working over there. You got any new advances on that?
We're still under construction for that. We got some big things that's already planned. Some big things that are planned. It's just taking some time to get the whole feng shui of the whole deal coming. There is going to be new content dropping soon. Be on the lookout for it, man.
All right, no doubt. Thank you everybody for coming in. Aaron, thank you for your comments and concerns, man. I always appreciate it. My brother, you already know. Speaking of Aaron, be on the lookout. I want to say they're coming out with the Anime Maniacs coming out Sunday, I believe. Don't quote me on it because that's a Siege, and I think he's bringing Aaron on as his co-host for that show. So be on the lookout for that. I believe they dropping that Sunday as well. Yeah, as far as us, man, keep rocking with us. Thanks for the comments, concern. This is First Class. And like I said, at the end of the day, man, learn from your past, live in the present, and hope for your future. And just keep rocking day by day. Take it one day at a time. If you got somebody to talk to them. Don't keep it all bottled up. You gotta find what works for you. You know, if you need somebody to talk to somebody. If it's a relative, talk. If it's a friend, talk to them. If you rather have a stranger, then go seek therapy. They got plenty of stuff, plenty of tools to our access at this day and age to where if you're just going through it now, it's because you like to be a victim. Now, that's a hot take. I might get a lot of shit for it. I don't really care. Because it's so many different things at our access now. They have therapy apps to where you don't have to sit in person. You can make a call. There's a lot of stuff in access that people have now. So if you're not doing the things necessary to overcome that trauma or that stressful time or whatever you're going through, then to my opinion, evidently you like it. So with that being said, this is First Class. I'm your host, E. Carter. This is
That guy 937.
Siege wasn't here with us, but he was here in spirit. We'll see him next time, hopefully. And like we always say at this time, if you're going to fly, you might as well
fly first class.
We out.
Peace.
Bigot.